Welcome to episode 7 of our culture series. This is a continuation of our employee value proposition. And what we're going to take you through today is we're going to take you through 3 of our last 3 pillars. Now, an employee value proposition, why bother? We have heard it before, but it's really important to note that an employee value proposition is all around what do you actually give your team members and what attraction tool can you utilize to bring in great people into your business that actually is more than just package. And what we're going to do today is we're going to focus on 3. We all know growth never happened in your comfort zone. So we're going to use and spotlight the pillar growth. Then we're going to spotlight one thing that's really important, which is community give back, because a lot of people are looking for that. And then also making sure that we finish with resilience, which is the underpinning performance pillar that sits under everything within a value proposition. And remembering that an EVP, your employee value proposition, is your comprehensive, compelling standout factor. It is your competitive advantage. And yes, you may have a lot of these things done individually, but it's the power of bringing them together as one collective so you can have a conversation around it and make sure that you're delivering to your team members exactly what they find is inspirational and aspirational.
So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to tackle the growth pillar. Love it. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. And so when we think about growth in our businesses, I know much larger organizations have really big learning and development, often platforms and programs and so forth, and absolutely they're required. But actually for our smaller businesses, they can be just as important. So when we're going through our strat planning process or a business planning process, don't forget to think about, if we're wanting to grow our business from here to here over the next 12, 24, 36 months, actually what development for my people am I going to need to factor into that process can also help with a bit of financial planning as well in terms of budgeting for what those costs may look like. So, but don't lose sight of the fact that even though we can do sort of that macro piece, actually the development piece happens at an individual level. And one thing I always like to remind people about is we might have people in the exact same job. So we might have people called customer service agents, but actually we all bring diversity, don't we? We all bring different experiences, and we've all worked in different places, and we have different skill sets and capabilities. So actually I might be a customer service agent sitting next to 3 more, but actually what development looks like for me might be quite different for the person sitting next to me in the same position. So this is where we link into those individual performance plans. Before we jump into those, we need to make sure that we're having these conversations in our future forward conversations. And Kirsten and I have spoken about this in previous episodes. And it's around that third conversation. And 1/3 is all about what development do I need in order to meet the objectives that we're working through and setting together. And so that development conversation hopefully is taking place on a quarterly basis, but we're really looking at how do I help this individual grow and excel and reach their potential. So making sure those individual development programs are in place for every single person, and we're reviewing them because let's face it, businesses change and so do development needs. So our action plan for you is, do you have individual development plans? And if not, get cracking and put them in place. The second piece I'm going to talk to you about today is around community give back. And I reckon if you went around your staff and asked them what they do from a community perspective, you'd find a lot of people in your workplace actually already are actively involved in the community in lots of different ways. So if you're a bit stuck on what to do and what might be appropriate for your business, go to your team. So our challenge to you is to actually take this very thing to your team and ask them what it would look like. Kirsten's a fan of this, grab the old Post-it notes and just brainstorm ideas, pop them up all over the board. And then as a team decide what it is that's going to be most appropriate. For larger businesses, obviously they have a lot of these things in place, but for smaller and medium-sized businesses, really easy to get your people involved. It's another value piece in terms of involvement and inclusiveness. And actually just ask them what they want to do. Then plan it out. Believe it or not, for larger teams, if you want to go and prepare lunches with Eat My Lunch, there's a 6-month waiting list. So make sure with whatever you want to do, it actually forms part of your business plan, and then please promote it. Tell everyone what you're doing. Get your people in your business to share it with their families as well. It's a celebration point, and we should be celebrating successes and community give back. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's weeding gardens or making lunches or doing knitting or baking. Those are things to celebrate. They are the successes in businesses we should be celebrating. So our final action tip around community is go and do the post-it note exercise. Go and see, what are your teams already doing, and see what they would like to do as either a team or as a business. You will be amazed at the ideas and suggestions they come up with.
Your last EVP pillar is resilience, and resilience underpins absolutely everything, and it's absolutely critical that it's something that you as a business and as a business leader spotlight for your business, for your team, and just, if not more importantly, for yourself. So often we create amazing initiatives that we roll out to our teams, but we actually forget that actually we're a team member too, and we need to be living and breathing and role modeling resilience and resilience behaviours. Now, I spoke to you on a previous episode around a hairdresser who downsized. They went from doing your normal, working every Saturday, doing long hours, 5 days a week, having Sunday, Monday off. They disrupted, they cut it back, and they now only do a 4-day week, and it's only from Tuesday to Friday. Now, they still do the same amount of hours in that same amount of time, but they felt that their resilience and the mental well-being of their staff didn't actually require them at all to do the silly hours and go through and run the actual salon over weekends, and when I've spoken to people, they've said, wow, we've got our life back. We never knew what it was like to have a weekend. So if you are really serious in creating a culture where you will deliver a great value proposition, you need to look at resilience and not just do it with a little, oh yes, we're doing it here. Do it seriously. And so with resilience, it is about making sure that you create a supportive environment where people are actually supported. It's not about being the ambulance at the end of the cliff. And yes, absolutely, we need all of those programs in place to help people to reset, to challenge, to get them back, to support them and guide them on an ongoing basis. But it's also up to us as business leaders and businesses to create the environment that is actually supporting and encouraging great resilience. So you could do that through seminars, workshops. You could do it with little reset challenges. You could do it as part of a team building exercise. You could do it as part of a community give back. But resilience is something you live and breathe on a daily basis. It's not just one-off initiatives. It's about making sure that we do look after the health and the mental health of our team. It's about making sure that we do look after, and make sure that we are very aware of stress, fatigue, and performance levels within our team. And focusing on resilience pillars, making sure people are sleeping well, making sure that they're eating well, creating behaviours in the workplace that create that support that, making sure that, put in something in place like for hydration, such as coming to a meeting. And every time, have as a guiding principle, every time you come to a meeting, have a water bottle. Keep that hydration up. Absolutely critical for focus, clarity, health, as well as performance. And then we can't forget breathing, can we? We can't forget the importance of focusing on breath and making sure that people are breathing correctly. We might do all these fitness challenges, but what about a breathing challenge? What about supporting people on learning how to breathe properly? It's so often the pillar that's actually overlooked because it just happens automatically. But I can guarantee that the chances are there's a high level of percentage of people within your business not actually breathing correctly. So go to breathing experts, get them to help you, get them to come in and speak. The next one is about moving. It's about making sure people are encouraged to move, get up in their breaks, to actually move, have walking meetings. Make sure, you've got a guiding principle. Why do people need to eat at the desk? Why can't they eat healthily and more purposeful and more meaningful when they are actually taking a break? and moving. And last but not least is all about life flow. It's about making sure that you encourage people to take a good amount of holidays throughout the year in times where they can actually really rejuvenate, recharge, and enjoy the rest of their lives.
So today we've taken you through 3 of our pillars. We've taken you through growth, and making sure you've got that individual development plan. We've taken you through community. If you're unsure what to do and what that's going to look like in your business, do the post-it note exercise and take it out to your team. And also resilience that Kirsten's just shared with you, and those resilience pillars, and making sure we've got a really robust system in place, even just dealing with that one pillar on its own. So thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to wrapping up our 8-part series next week, where we share with you some ideas around actually activating change in your business and making sure it's happening on a continuous basis.